This is a tutorial on the ZwoBot Sort device. ZwoBot is a suite of Max for Live devices that allows you to create visuals inside Ableton. And if you're new to ZwoBot, I'd recommend you go back and watch some of my earlier tutorials, and I'll put a link to those in the top right corner of the screen now. And if you'd like to buy ZwoBot, there's a link in the description. So the Sort device creates a feedback-based pixel sorting effect. I've already connected it to my player and switched it on, and I've got this image that I've loaded into my video deck here. Nothing is happening though, because we've got these dials turned down. So the drift dial controls the amount that the effect is going to be applied. So you can see as I'm turning it up, you're starting to get this pixel shifting feedback effect. And that will control how much of the effect is being applied to the visual. And then underneath that, we've got a trails dial, which will add a trail feedback effect. So as you turn that up, it's adding more intensity to the overall effect. So these two dials can be used to control how much of the effect you want to be applied to the visual. Over here we have got adjust. That will change which parts of the image are affected by the feedback. Contrast affects the contrast of the effect, so that's fairly straightforward. And then we've got this direction setting, so this controls which direction the feedback is going in. So currently it's set to up, but we can also have it go down or left or right. All of these controls can have sound reactivity applied to them. So what that means is they will change in response to the incoming audio. So for example, I could have this drift setting change in response to the lower frequencies. I could have the trail setting change in response to the higher frequencies. And then I could have the adjust setting change to the lower frequencies as well. I'll leave the contrast, and this I could have change to the higher frequencies. They all also have beat controls, which means instead of responding to the audio, they will change in sync with your BPM. So I'm going to do that for this direction setting. I'll turn that off and instead turn this button on here. And now this is going to change in sync with your BPM, and how often it changes will depend on what your master beat control on your ZwoBot player is. So I can make it faster by bumping this up, and you can see now it's changing much quicker, or I can slow it down. Now it's changing much slower. In the bottom left hand corner, we have got our transparency and blend mode controls. So this controls the overall transparency of the effect. And here we've got a selection of blend modes, which will blend the effect with the underlying visual. And we also have this B button, which stands for blend. And that will just apply a general blend. I'm not sure if it's using a specific blend mode here, but basically it'll slightly blend the underlying visual with the effect. So if the effect is too strong and you want to see a bit more of the visual underneath, you can hit this blend mode on and it'll bring through some of that underlying visual if you're losing some of the detail in the effect. One thing to bear in mind is that this drift setting, when you put some audio reactivity on it and it goes right up to the maximum setting, So I'll have to just bring this track back a bit because we're not getting many lower frequencies now. You'll notice that you get this blend mode color effect going on. I think that's a bug. So if you're getting that, you can just bring down the sensitivity a bit to make sure it's not going to the max.